We are online now. Audience, please turn off the microphone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to our distinguished panel from Malaysia and also from Indonesia, fellow lecturers, students and everyone who attending today's webinar. My name is Nizam Abdul Hamid and I will be moderating the second session for the international collaboration on academic activities between the Department of Town and Regional Planning, University Teknologi Mara, UiTM Perak, Sri Iskandar Campus, Malaysia, and then the Architecture Study Program, Malaysia University, UNISA, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. After a week break due to the rise of COVID-19 in Malaysia, I would like to welcome back everyone once again and hope that you and your families are in a good health. As we all know, we had a very good sharing of information on our last session. And today, we will be having another 4 more panels discussing on planner and architect, sustainable development and social well-being. However, before we start the session, allow me to address the format for this session. We have 4 speakers today, which 3 of them are from UiTM Perak, Campus Sri Iskandar, and 1 from UNISA Yogyakarta, Indonesia. After the speakers from UiTM Perak have presented, a speaker from UNISA will then present. Please be reminded that each presenter is allocated 15 minutes only for presentation. At the end of the session, we will open for Q&A session. And then please also note that you may also ask questions during the presentation. And for those who want to post the questions, please do so via our Facebook, live streaming, and other platforms. However, please take note that the question posed shall be delivered to speakers' attention only at the end of the session. Without further ado, let us now begin our webinar session for today. Before we start, allow me to introduce our very first speaker, Dr. Amelia Ahmad. She is a senior lecturer in the Department of Town and Regional Planning, UiTM Perak, who has a PhD and specialism in built environment from UiTM Shah Alam. And her area of specialization is on social planning, urban forestry and park, and then recreation behavior. Let us now welcome Dr. Amelia Ahmad with her topic for today, trees in urban areas, their benefit and challenges. Thank you. You may start, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera to everybody. So for today's webinar, I will be sharing a topic on trees. Trees, everyone knows what is a tree, right? So today I will be sharing about trees in urban areas. Okay. So for today's topic, trees in urban areas. So everybody knows what is a tree. Okay? As you can see in the pictures, these are trees in nature. Okay, as we all know, trees are the oldest living things on earth. In Malaysia, some of the trees may age more than 100 years old. And for your information, trees consist of three parts, three main
Wait.
parts,
Okay. Ada. Tapi bukan blazer lah, dia macam jaket biasa tu kan.
which are
Dia dah
the
baca.
crown, okay, the crown, the trunk, and the root system. Okay, so what happened now is that since majority of the world population are now living in towns and cities, where in Malaysia alone 79.6% are living in cities, expected to live in cities by 2025, most of our nature or green areas are being deforested to make ways for the development, to allow people to come and live in the city. So if planned and managed well, cities are great place to live. But many cities are now facing environmental havoc such as pollution, flash floods, and urban heat island. And this is a picture of a big city, Kuala Lumpur. As we can see here, it's full of man-made structures, full of buildings, and little bit of trees there. Not many trees are left in the city areas. So these situations lead to urban dwellers deteriorating well-being because the earth are now facing emission of greenhouse gases, increased waste, degradation of soil, and pollution of rivers. Quite recently, we were facing Kuala Lumpur lack of water, water shortage because of a pollution in the river. So this is the cost that the urban dwellers has to face when people start living in cities. And to overcome this situation, we need trees in towns and cities. Forests or trees are essential elements in making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Having trees in the urban areas will assist us in meeting several NUA and SDGs goals. For the new urban agenda, three interlinked principles is to leave no one behind, to ensure sustainable and inclusive urban economies, and to ensure environmental sustainability. And for SDG, Sustainable Development Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities. Almost all parts of the world are trying to achieve the new urban agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, just to share with you the benefits of trees, the first one is the energy saving. Okay, the shade provided by the canopy or the crown of the trees and the evapotranspiration process provided by trees reduce reliance on air conditioning during warmer weathers, especially like the weather that we have in Malaysia, where we spend big amount of money only for air conditioning, right? So by having many trees around us, it will help to reduce the high temperature that we have to face every day. Okay, and the next one is carbon sequestration. As we all know, cities are the main source of carbon emission, especially from all the cars, the many cars that we have in our cities. So trees function as an what do you call that, air purifier in the city because it absorbs carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Another benefit of trees is storm water management. Trees are mini reservoirs, controlling water runoff at the surface, where large part of the cities are impermeable surfaces, or in other words, solid surfaces or man-made surfaces. which reduce water runoff and flows. Trees help to reduce water runoff and flows. And in a way, it stops flash flooding from happening. And then the next one, we have heat mitigation. The impermeable spaces that we have trap heat and lead to urban heat island effects. And in this case, trees help to lower the temperature of our environment. Another function of trees is to absorb noise. As we all know, in cities, noise from vehicles and activities are all around us. And in certain parts, the noise are unbearable. So trees help to absorb noise, lead to comfortable surrounding. The next benefit of trees is the social function. Green spaces in cities provide us with multifunctional spaces such as urban parks, urban green areas, and these places provide meeting and socializing venue for the city dwellers to meet, to interact with each other, and to enjoy and have a connection with nature. So for good interaction and inclusion, by participating in leisure activities, green areas in the cities, this all. The next one is health. Trees help to improve mental health in certain studies done by a Western researcher. It shows that um, a group of sample being studied have improved their mental health by just being in three planted areas. Okay, so trees also can overcome loneliness and reduce mortality. Okay, so trees in terms of economy, it also benefited us in a way that it increased property prices. Having trees in front of our house can help to increase the price of the property, and this may, what do you call that, may help us in encouraging us to more to more effort in planting trees around our living or residential areas. And in a study, one study showed that by having trees around the business district have attracted many people to come and do their shopping there because they like to be in that environment which they have trees around their shopping areas. Okay, and the other one is wildlife habitat. Trees provide space for wildlife in the city where urban dwellers can connect with nature. And also trees also provide spaces for urban, uh, allow for urban agriculture for the urban dwellers in that by having community garden, okay, small lots for agriculture and so on. This provides source of income and employment opportunities for the urban dwellers. So, what are the challenges that we face when having trees in the urban areas? The first one is the urbanization itself. Its rapid pace and extent of urbanization has caused us our nature, where most of our natural areas are being eroded and being destroyed just to make way to urbanization. And cities, as we all know, so they are hub to socio-economic development. But does the development have equitable and sustainable return for the urban dwellers? Humans exploit nature excessively. So cities are now being exposed to climate change and natural disasters, lack of clean drinking water and food insecurity. The next one is the coordination and collaboration. Green and public areas are administered by various agencies with differing objectives. For those agencies without the statutory conservation function and budget, they either ignore or they just couldn't be bothered with the tree management. So this need intersectoral approach of tree management in the city rather than centralizing to one agency only. And the last part is the tree management itself. For this one, I would like to divide it into two, prior to planting and post-planting. Let me first explain about prior to planting, in which the first thing that we have to do right is the decision on the location of where we want to plant the tree. Because we have to take into consideration the crown, the trunk, and the root of the tree. Okay, so when we choose a species to be planted in our town, we have to take into consideration the matured height, the matured size, and the diameter of the canopy, so that when it grows, it will not affect our overhead line, such as our electricity cable, our building itself. For this may cause later safety hazard. So in certain situation, we need to do pruning, and if done by those unprofessional people, I would say the ordinary worker, pruning may create weird appearance and prone and expose the trees to attack by diseases and insects. Whereas for the underground factor, due to the massive amount of impermeable surfaces in the city, it can cause damage to the uh, root system, and also the root itself when growing to certain diameter, can cause damage to infrastructure. And the next one is height restriction, depending on the area, near building or open area. So we need to choose the right tree for the right location. And for post planting, for tree to grow well, we have to take care of it as we do care about our own health. So for trees, there are few things that we need to consider. The first one is periodical inspection, the soil management, the mulching, the pruning, and the removal of hazardous trunk and branches. And we also need to look at construction damage caused by human activity to the tree, the breaking of the branches, the tearing of the bark, and the wound to the root system, and soil compaction caused by construction activities, human steps, and so on. So these environmental stresses plus the lack of light, water, or nutrients, or excessive water, pollutants, and vandalism can cause the tree to die. So in conclusion, although we welcome urbanization, and we know that urbanization will continue to take place for years to come, and towns and cities will expand in sizes, we are left with the challenge to ensure that all our urban areas are livable and sustainable, thus protecting and safeguarding Earth and its inhabitants. So these are pictures of all the trees in our urban environment. We have trees near the lake, near the parks, in front of houses, in the city. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Very much, Dr. Emilia Ahmad, for the wonderful presentation about the trees in urban areas, the benefit and challenges. So we move to our next speaker, will be presented by Dr. Hajah Wan Rabiah Wan Omar. She is a senior lecturer in Department of Town and Regional Planning. She received her PhD in Leisure Management from University of Queensland, Brisbane, Australia, 2011. And with her area of specialization on physical activity, healthy living, and urban parks and recreation planning. So please welcome Dr. Hajah Wan Rabiah Wan Omar with her presentation titled Fighting Obesity Pandemic for Sustainable Living. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and good morning. Thank you, Mr. Hasnizam. Continue from Dr. Amelia's topic on urban tree. Here I would like to share on obesity challenges that currently is a global issue. So, all right, wait, I'd like to share my slides. Okay, here we go. So, I would like to begin my topic by highlighting reminders from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and His Messenger Muhammad alayhi salam. From Surah Al-A'raf, pakailah pakaian kamu yang indah berhias pada tiap-tiap kali kamu ke tempat ibadah dan makanlah serta minumlah, jangan pula kamu melampau. Sesungguhnya Allah tidak suka akan orang-orang yang melampaui batas. That means watch what you eat and eat according to your needs. And the second one from Bukhari and Muslim, sesungguhnya pada masa yang akan datang, ada kaum yang nampak pada mereka kegemukan. And then the last one from Muslim and Ahmad, kemudian datang kaum yang suka menggemukkan badan. Yeah? Actually, this reminder occurred 1,400 years ago, captured in Al-Quran and Hadith, where at that time people in good body shape, I assume, because mostly due to the environment. They use their physical body to earn for a living, and they only eat what they have. Okay, my topic is related directly to the major focus of the SDG goals. Obesity is a seriously global issue and now has become one of the UN attentions. One of the UN attentions, major issue, is fall under the third SDG, good health and well-being. It falls under SDG 3. So now we look at our status of body. So obesity and overweight refers to the abnormal or excessive fat accumulated in our body. So looking at the BMI, the green color is the best weight for us. And start from the yellow to the right, this is the current issue right now. It's happening right now. So obesity is one of the world's largest health problems. It's responsible for 3.2 million premature deaths each year. Premature death means you died before the age, mostly it's below 70. So now, look at this data. I got it from WHO. This map shows that the darker the color means the higher the percentage of the obesity of the country. So starting from 1985, it seems like the color is still light. And as we go along to 2000, increase to 2015, the map is getting darker and darker. The majority of the countries now is having the problem of overweight. So in 2016 alone, this is the latest data from the WHO, 39% of adults in the world were overweight. And look at this chart. I purposely take for Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay. In 1975, 10% of Malaysians were found overweight, and this trend is increasing to 2016, and about 42% are overweight. This is really alarming. And as for Indonesia, even though it's lower compared to Malaysia, but still the trend is not good. 6% were overweight in 1975 and increased to 20% in 2016. So even though Indonesia is a bit lower compared to Malaysia, but the trend is increasing. That's not a good sign. And now, just now, trend of overweight. Now, trend of obesity. Obesity means the BMI is above 30. In 2016 alone, 13% of adults in the world were obese. 13%. It's a high number. And then when we compare to Malaysia, focus on Malaysia, 1.4% in 1975 were overweight, and 16% 2016 were overweight, even higher than world record. World record only 13%, and Malaysia is like 16%, extra 3%. And as for Indonesia, 0.4% were obese 1975 and increased to 10% in 2016, still lower than Malaysia. Okay, now look at this combination. I compiled the data and I put in one graph so that we can see the combination of obesity and overweight pandemic trend in Malaysia and Indonesia alone. So Malaysia in yellow and Indonesia in red color. So from 2010 to 2016, currently 2016, this is the latest data, that's why I said currently, maybe it's higher. So Malaysia having 57% of people in the group of obese and overweight. And this is really, really scary. And as for Indonesia, 35%. So what is the impact of obesity and overweight? What is the impact? Why we are so keen about the obesity apart from our appearance? Yeah? Because the consequences is not only for individuals, it also affects society and economy. So look here. Obesity and overweight can cause death, kills at least 3.2 million people each year. And currently, I got the data, says that roughly now 4.6 billion people were killed due to obesity and overweight. And obesity also causes physical disability, where it's difficult for us to move and sometimes bedridden due to the diseases. So 30.5 billion people become physically disabled. And in terms of productivity, it reduced countries' GDP between 1.6 to 5.3. It's a lot. It's a lot because people is not healthy and directly impact the productivity of the individuals and goes to the society and for the economy as well. So the direct cost of the obesity is healthcare cost, because when we obese, we are not healthy, we need extra health costs. So take up to 8.4% of countries' total health expenditure. So this is another evidence, yeah, results from obesity. The obesity become the top 4 leading factors of death, for both Malaysia and Indonesia. This data, I got it from WHO as well. So high blood pressure is the first one. Actually, high blood pressure, some of it due to obesity as well. And the smoking. The third one is high blood sugar. And the fourth is obesity. Same goes to Indonesia. Obesity is the 4th factor that cause death, early death. Now, what is the death rate due to obesity? It the fourth leading factors, but what is the rate? So for Malaysia, now 2017 is the latest data, 11% of death is due to obesity, and for Indonesia 6.7%, and the trend is increasing from the previous year. Now, death rate among the obese. Among the obese, 77% died. That means left only 23% survive. Survive. And for Indonesia, 61% of the obese people were dead, and only left behind 39%. This is really dangerous, actually. And it's loss to the country, loss to the family, affect our social being. Yeah. Okay, what is I will share just now is the pattern of obesity and the trend, and how that's the reality now. So what is the cause actually? We need to know the root cause in order to tackle the problem. So the first and foremost is the sedentary lifestyle. We sit a lot. We don't do much on physically active. We don't do much with our body. We just stay and relax, even though we are doing work like we are doing now, talking without moving. An unhealthy diet. We eat sometimes not only a lot, we eat unnecessary food. Yeah, we just eat what we like without considering the health issues. And then consumption of tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. Tobacco, alcohol, and drugs cause low in metabolism. So if these 5 elements we don't control, the nation will be getting bigger and bigger in size and cause problem to the health. Okay, how to solve this issue? How to solve the issue? Even though there are like 5 main cause, but one, obviously, there's only one on top of controlling the input, and way out is physical activity. Why? Because physical activity burns fat, burns calorie. Yeah? It burns what we eat. So this is the benefit of physical activity: weight management, reduce health risks, strengthen bones and muscles, improve ability to do daily activities and prevent falls when muscles getting strong. So we can avoid from easily falls and social network while we're doing physical activity with friends, with family. So we strengthen our social network. That's a good for the neighborhood community activity. Yeah. All right. So now we go to the strategy. So we know what's the benefit of the physical activity. So how to improve, how to promote the physical activity among communities in a country. So the strategy, roughly there's 4 strategies. One is a collective effort across different sectors and disciplines. The action must be from collectively, from family, community, employer, government, and then inshallah the result will be there. And then provide a supportive environment, less barrier environment, and then can be easily, the activity must be easily integrated into daily life, daily routine, so that we can do it regularly and cost effective. All of them are important, but cost is very important. Yeah. We like free stuff, and then you can do physical activity freely as well. No extra monetary impact. This is among the physical activity that we normally do: gardening, cycling, dancing not me, sports, swimming, recreations, house chores. Yeah. And then among these, which one is the easily integrated into daily routine that suits all ages categories, suits both genders, and most cost effective? Only walking. Gardening, you need skill. You need a space. You need space. Cycling, you need bicycle definitely. Dancing, you need skill. And swimming, of course, you need swimming pool. Yeah. But walking, inshallah, we only have feet to walk. Yeah. So how much do we need to walk actually? So roughly we need, for healthy living, we need to walk on average 10,000 steps a day. So this record from WHO as well, a study conducted by Stanford University in 2017, they compare about 100 over countries that participated in this study, and Hong Kong and China were found the most active in walking. Even though they are most active in walking, the steps roughly 6,000 only, still below the recommended steps, which is 10,000. And look, the bottom three countries, yeah, the bottom three country is Indonesia, yeah, Indonesia. The second last is Saudi, and the third last is Malaysia. Yeah, so these three countries don't like to walk, even though we have a space. Yeah, don't like to walk. Maybe because of the weather. Maybe because of the weather, or because we have access to the motor vehicles, and we prefer to motor vehicles instead of walking. So now, in order to intervene to promote a walking behavior, so the strategy, we know the strategy, we know the benefit. So how to make them walk? How to make them walk? So there are studies using a few theory. Planned behavior theories, the parent theory, and the later one is social ecological model. Yeah. And most of these theories, they focus on elements, but on top of the elements is actually about the barrier and about the encourage factor. Okay. So people will walk regular if the less barrier and more encourage factor. So look, among the factor is exercise habit, that's individual, and individual factors, yeah. Social factors, influence from social, and among these factors, physical environment plays important role. Physical environment plays important role. Direct impact to the walking activity. Same goes to the habit. If you're lazy, if you don't like, even if you get a good environment as well, you will not walk. So physical environment give direct impact to the people's behavior on walking activity. So what do we do now as a planner? How do we go about it as an architecture? How do we go about it? So here, look. We as urban designer, including health architecture in UNISA, yeah, we have one distinctive weapon. We call it design. We call it design. Design, inshallah, can influence people's walking behavior. Design able to relay specific signal and message to communities. So if we provide good environment, good infrastructure, inshallah, people will be attracted to use it and will work on it. So how to design? How to design? This is 6 element. There are a few more, but this is the 6 element. If we want people to walk, we should provide walking trail or walking path that easy for them, that pleasureful to walk. So the path should be well connected within a neighborhood or in urban setting. If not connected, we start to walk halfway and we fed up. So should be connected to various or we call it mixed land use. We walk, we stop by at the shop, we walk again and stop by to another shop, we walk again, go to the park. It's connected. And the second one, appropriate distance to destination. Currently in Malaysia, we have a walking track, but along the main road, it's not shortcut. It's still long way to go because we are not car. We use our body to walk. We use our energy. So we don't want, no. So we prefer shortcut. So a walking path should be built up, should be built in between the buildings, in between the land use, so that we can have a short distance. And then the third factor is safety from crime and traffic. Even though we have a good infrastructure for walking trails, but the environment, the ambience should be safe from crime and traffic. Comfortable path with the appropriate width, for example, 2 meters width is better than 1 meter width because we can walk hand by hand, side by side, 2 to 3 people together, yeah. And the surface is not that rough. Gradient, the slope is not that slopey. The shady covered, even though it's not all the stretch is covered, but maybe can mix covered and open so that people will feel comfortable. Because our weather is hot and sunny, sometimes rain. So shade is very important to encourage people to walk more regular. And scenic views, even though it looks like it's not important because scenic views only, but it encourage people to walk because people like beautiful. Yeah, we like beautiful things, beautiful stuff. And the path side facilities, rest area, kiosk, parking, sitting area. Yeah, sometimes we walk, we want to stop by. We just want to have a rest, then we rest there, and then we can continue our journey, our trip. So this is among important factors for us as a planner, as an architect, to take care in order to promote walking behavior. Walking behavior, it looks simple, but inshallah it will give great impact to the individual's health. Yeah. Okay, now this is my last slide. Yeah, we walk. We want to know what's the calorie. Yeah, we want to know what's the calorie. So calorie burn depends on the age, gender, weight, our height, and our walking speed. If you can speed, your walking speed is like faster, then it burn more. So this example in this table, I just take from the table 3.2 kilometer per hour. That means 1 hour we walk about 3 kilometer. So as for female, example, female weight 60 kilo. If you walk speed for 3.2 kilometer per hour, you walk for 60 minutes, you can burn 145 calories. Yeah. And if you, 145 considerably intermediate. Yeah. And it can be considerably very low if after you walk, you have a breakfast with nasi lemak and teh tarik. Yeah, teh tarik. Look, nasi lemak alone with chicken, you take about 661 calorie plus 140 calorie with teh tarik. Yeah, you end up with 800 calories. To burn this again, you need to walk another 4 hours walking, equivalent to 12.5 kilometer. And then after that, you continue your lunch. So it's a non-stop issue. Non-stop issue. So we need to watch what we eat. We need to be actively, walking is one of the approach. You can do other things. For women like me, we can make ourselves busy with the house chores or gardening. Yeah. So with that, I end my my slides, my sharing. But before that, I would like to share a 2 minutes video from WHO. Yeah. Wait. Share. Okay. Wait.
Rabiah Wan Omar for the interesting presentation just now about the fighting obesity pandemic for sustainable living. So Dr. Wan, for your last slide conclusion, you left you missing one more our main dish in the early morning. Beside nasi lemak and teh tarik, we have roti canai. Roti canai is the one of the factor to make nation people obese.
Yeah, minus
Plus,
minus the egg.
Yes, itu tak boleh tinggal. Mesti ada, wajib ada selepas subuh. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Wan. So after this, after your look at your presentation, maybe Malaysian people should change their living style. Maybe go out for the jogging, running, and then the trend right now is cycling, folding bike. If those people are not able to walking 3 or 5 kilometers a day, maybe they can go out for cycling. Maybe they can go more than 3 or 5 kilometers. Okay. For reduce the obesity. Ni obesity yang menghantui rakyat Malaysia sekarang ni. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Warabia. So now we move to the next presenter, third speaker, which is GJS, Dr. Haji Suharto Triman. So a little bit about the Dr. Suharto. He is a senior lecturer in Department of Town and Regional Planning, and he received his PhD on urban management from the Queensland University of Technology, Brisbane, Australia in 2012. And his area of specialization is on urban neighborhood sustainability, spatial analysis, and land use planning. So please welcome JS Dr. Haji Suharto Triman with his presentation entitled Affordable Rainwater Harvesting System for Domestic Usage.
Okay, over to me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I wear this pilot headphone because I was informed that it will make my voice much clearer. Okay, a very good morning. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Very good morning to everyone. Okay, the presenters, the audience. This morning, I would like to talk about an equally important topic. Okay, because it is related to our responsibility to take care of our environment. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, right. So I hope everyone can see. So this is the topic that I want to share with all of us. Is on. I changed a bit the topic from affordable to affordability because I think it is much more relevant to what I'm discussing today. So affordability of rainwater harvesting system for domestic usage, focusing on residential users. Okay, we live in tropical countries. Okay, where we are lucky. We have lots and lots of rain. Okay, every month, every day. There's not a single month. Okay, as for now, without rain. Okay, because we receive an average about 2,300 milliliters of water per year. Okay, if you look at the data at the map here, okay, both Malaysia and Indonesia, okay, receive plenty of rain, okay, all year round, okay, nearly all year round. So this is good. This is a very valuable resources, okay, and also we are grateful, okay, because we live in a country where the majority of us, both in Malaysia and Indonesia, have access to potable water. So what we mean by potable water is water which we can use, which is safe for drinking and also for cooking. Okay, Malaysia, the data as at 2015, okay, 98% of the population have access to potable water, while Indonesia 87 is very high, also 87.4%, slightly lower than the world average, which is 90%. Okay, but so this is we are very lucky actually. Okay, and okay, looking at this graph, okay, there is a worry, okay, because our municipalities, our local authority are now increasingly facing a huge challenge, okay, huge challenge to provide processed water, okay. Some people call it metered water to the residents, okay. And looking at the table on the right, it shows the average water consumption per person, okay. So the current consumption for Malaysians, okay, each individual, okay, consume roughly 221 liters of water per day, okay, per day, okay. In Southeast Asia, we are top, okay, as compared to Thailand, 193, okay. Indonesia is 150 liters per day, which is below than the limit set by the WHO, the World Health Organization, which is 165 liters per day. So Malaysia tops the list, and some references say that we use about 250, some references 270 liters per day. So what I'm trying to say is we use a lot of water. Okay, right. Okay, so now is we are going to talk about the resources. We are very lucky. Okay, we have a very precious natural resource, which is rainwater, a clean rainwater. Okay, right above us, right on our rooftop. Okay, unfortunately, okay, most of us do not realize this, not realize the benefit, okay, especially we who live in urban setting, okay, we let this clean water goes down the drain, okay, and so the resources is wasted actually, in terms of water. So that brings us to this term called rainwater harvesting. So what we mean by rainwater harvesting is the collection of water from surfaces, okay, from our rooftop, and we collect the water, we store it for our later use. Okay. So we can use many mediums to store water. We can use pots, okay, like in this case. Again, we can use proper rainwater tanks, okay, or we can also even use water drums, okay. So all this rainwater storage comes in various forms, in various sizes, okay. So we can use whichever is affordable to us. Okay, why I'm concerned about harvesting rainwater? Because rainwater has a huge potential and impact. Okay, harvested rainwater can replace nearly half of our daily water use. If you use 100 liters of water, of processed water, okay, you can, even if you use rainwater harvesting, you can use 50 liters. You can tap from rainwater harvesting. Okay, so what can this water be used for? Okay, we can use it for potable water, as for drinking and cooking. Of course, we need to what do you call it, to boil it, okay, to kill all the germs and all the bacteria. Okay, but we can also after it's being filtered, we can also use for bathing and doing laundry. Okay, but the majority of the water, the rainwater, we can use it for secondary purposes. Okay, we can use for plant watering, to wash our car, to do house cleaning. Okay, so this is the huge benefit and potential of water, right? So yes, rainwater harvesting can bring a huge reduction in terms of replacing, okay, partly the processed water which is being sourced from dams, from rivers. Okay, therefore this is directly contributing to minimizing our environmental impact. Okay, we will have less carbon emission. Carbon emission is the energy that we use to process this water to be brought to us. Okay, the more we use harvested rainwater, the less carbon emission that will be emitted. Okay, in this case. Okay, so however, okay, what actually happened is, okay, rainwater harvesting is yet to gain public popularity. Is yet to take a strong foot, okay, among our community. Because there are few commercial buildings install rainwater harvesting. Okay, even fewer residential properties, okay, adopted this initiative, right? Well, there are lots of reasons. There are lots of reasons, but the main reason I would say would be the low water tariff. The low water tariff, which minimize, okay, the monetary benefit for installing a rainwater harvesting system in our house, or on our house. Okay, and the second is the lack of environmental consciousness, okay, among us. Okay, we have plenty of rains. Okay, we have almost every houses are connected to pipe water. So the consciousness of the need to conserve water is lacking. Okay. Okay, and then the third one is lack of mandatory regulations, or regulation from the government, the guidelines which make it compulsory to install rainwater harvesting. So this is not there, not in any regulation. So this makes rainwater harvesting is not popular. Okay. Okay. Having said that, okay, let's move to the next slide. So I would like to draw your attention to the system. This is the system used to harvest rain. So rainwater harvesting system range from simple pots and barrels, like the slides on the left, okay, to more elaborate, more what we call a more comprehensive or more complicated system involving the use of pumps, okay, water tanks, above ground, underground water tank, and also the purification system or the filter system. So this is basically what we need in rainwater harvesting. Okay, so what we need, what we require to have a rainwater harvesting is, of course, we need to have a surface to collect the water. So in our case, for residential areas, we have plenty of roof space in our house, which we can use to collect water by the use of this conveyance, or roof gutter, running along the roof to collect water and down the gutter into the collection point. In this case, the rainwater tank. Before the water entering into the what we call tank, we may need to install what we call first flush. So first flush functions to divert water, the first few minutes of water which contains elements like bird droppings, leaves from entering into our tank. And in some cases, we do need water pump, to pump water from the tank into our house. So this is basically the requirement for us to have a rainwater harvesting system at our house. Right. This is partly I have explained. So how it works. We have two types basically of rainwater harvesting. The first one is the gravity system, and the second one is a direct pump system. For the gravity system, we just place the water tank on top of the ground. We collect water and then we store the water in the tank, and then we use gravity to transfer the water to our appliances, to the laundry area, the dishwasher, or to the toilet, right? And in some cases, if the pressure is not high, we can use pumps. So this is for gravity or direct pump. And the second one is a bit more ambitious, a bit more complicated. We collect water and we store it underground. We dig our underground and we place the water tank here. So the water come from the gutter into the water tank by after passing the filter, and then we use a storage pump to pump up the water into our water tank on top of our house before it's being distributed to all the appliances in our house. So this is how it works. The rainwater harvesting system. I try to walk the talk. In Malaysia, we call it cakap serupa bikin. Saya cuba bikin macam saya cakap. So this photo shows the rear of my house. As you can see here, I did install a rainwater harvesting system and also a distribution system. As you can see here, this is the collection surface. The collection surface. This is my house, right? So the collection surface for phase 1 is the one in the yellow lines. This is the rear of my house. For the phase 2 is for future project, right? If this phase 1 is proved successfully. And I have distribution tank, to distribute the water for my use. So the water is collected through gutter, the conveyance system, down pipes, and then straight through the first flush. So I have a first flush right down here, right? And also I have a storage tank under this concrete floor. So this is the storage tank. This was when it was first built. It looks small, but it's huge actually. It can contain 5,000 liters of water at any one time. So this is the top of the tank, right? So the water from the storage tank is being filtered incoming filtration, and before I pump it to the distribution tank, it passed to another filter, the outgoing filter. As you can see here, this is the filter which filters water from the storage tank up into the storage tank before being delivered to water the plants and etc. Okay, this is the normal filter that we can buy from the shops for 30 ringgits. Okay, so this is the rainwater tank. This is my processed water tank. Okay, my processed water tank. So I prefer to use an outdoor tank instead of the indoor tank. Just for reason, well, I'm afraid that it might got leak in the near future, so I prefer to use it outside. So this is kind of like 3-in-1 building. Okay, the first is for the processed water. The second tank is for rainwater, sitting on top of my storeroom. This is my storeroom. Okay, and these are some of the application around my house of the rainwater harvesting. So the red pipe is for rainwater, the blue pipe is processed water. So I use it for to do house cleaning, to clean the patio, to wash the car, okay, and also use it to top up or replace water from my pond, okay, and also I use it to plant my vegetable. This one planted by my wife. And plus one or two other uses of this rainwater. All right, this slide shows a bit technical. It shows a calculation using an application developed by the National Water Research Institute of Malaysia, or NAHRIM. Okay, the app is called Tangki NAHRIM. So basically, what the app do is it allows you to calculate the total area of your rooftop, okay, and also the total volume of water that you will use, okay, and it can suggest you what type of tank which is suitable for your family, right? So this can be downloaded from the website. If you want to do it manually, you can just calculate using rainfall in millimeter times the catchment surface times the runoff, okay, and minus amount diverted through first flush, then you got the liters of water captured. Okay. All right. Talking about affordability. Affordability in this case is the ability for you to own a rainwater harvesting system. Well, honestly, affordability is a very subjective matter, right? Because what we cannot afford might be affordable to other people, and vice versa. So we can choose whichever kind of system which is for us is affordable. Okay, so to start off this noble effort, because we need to start somewhere to care for our environment. So we can use any method shown here. Okay, to the left or to the right. Okay, whichever we decide that it is affordable to us. Okay, we can use water barrels. In fact, okay, not shown here. Or we can use above ground. We can use underground. Okay, so the choice is for us actually. Okay. Talking about affordability also, I've done some research on the affordability aspect. For Malaysia and Indonesia, for an average family of 5 person, the optimum water tank volume that we can buy, okay, you can buy it from Shopee, from Lazada, okay, is 2,000 liter tank. Okay, you can buy 1,000 liter tank, or you can buy a single 2,000 liter tank to collect your water. And on average, the capital cost to to invest in rainwater harvesting system is roughly about 1,700 ringgit. Okay, a simple above ground, it's not underground. Okay, above ground rainwater harvesting system is 1,700 ringgit, which is equivalent to roughly about 5.8 million rupiah, right? So for Indonesia, slightly lower, 5.5 million rupiah to own one, okay, which is equivalent to 1,600 ringgit. And in Indonesia, there's a research mentioning that if your rainwater harvesting costs less than your house sale price, then it is feasible. Okay, if it is more than 1% of your house sale price, it is not feasible, or it is not affordable. Okay, so for maintenance cost, this one varies. This one varied. Okay, it can go from $30 per year to $50 per year. Okay, depending on the types of system that you have. And some research says that the payback period can run up to 8 years. Okay, some mention that it can go up to 10 to 11 years. Yeah, so it's quite well. You can say it's quite long. But anyway, it's a very good investment. Okay, it's only cost 1,700. Okay, your handphone cost how much? 2,000, 3,000? It's more than the rainwater harvesting system. But this one can last for 15 to 20 years. Our handphone can last only for 3 to 4 years. After that, you need to upgrade. Okay. The historical application of rainwater is already there for quite a long time. 6 to 7,000 years back. Okay, the Chinese have used rainwater harvesting for their agriculture, right? And however, this kind of rainwater harvesting initiative it start to diminish, it start to slow down, and in urban areas it is nearly disappear after the introduction of processed water in our area, in our urban area, in our residential area. So Malaysia follows similar trend. Okay, it's diminishing, except maybe in some part of the country. For example, in the state of Kelantan, where we can see they still use mainly groundwater and also rainwater harvested from the rooftop. Okay. Having said that, the government did start the rainwater harvesting initiatives in Malaysia. Okay, since 1999. Okay, we have a severe drought in 1998. So in 1999, the government initiate the residents to conserve water. Okay, they introduced guidelines. Okay, in 2006, they have the Water Industry Acts here, which explain or encourage the water harvesting system implementation. And then there are also a guidebook on planning and design, and later on, okay, the recent one was the introduction of the green building initiatives. Okay, if you can remember, 2 weeks ago, and Dr. Helmi did mention about the green building initiative, green building, what we call GBI project. Okay, and in green building initiative, they incorporate water efficiency and rainwater harvesting implementation in buildings. Okay, in building, if you have that facility, if you have that system, the building will be given higher marks. Okay, to get in the end green building certificates, right, which you can use to promote your building, to sell your property. You can get more profit from it, right? So what is the way forward? Okay, it is true that rainwater harvesting implementation, there are a lot of challenges, okay, in terms of cost, affordability, the long payback time, the low return on investment compared to some other form of investment. Yes, that is true, but okay, it has one important good thing, one important advantage. It adds value to our environment. It adds good value to our environment. Okay, and what kind of value? Like I mentioned in the earlier part of my of this session. Okay, it is a clean resources. It is free resources. Okay, if you can tap these resources, you can reduce the amount of carbon footprint. Okay, used to process water. So rainwater harvesting has add value to the environment. And this is also support, okay, our United Nations Agenda 21. They specifically mention about rainwater in their chapter 18. Okay, if I can read it. It is the protection of the quality and supply of fresh water resources through application of integrated approaches to the development and management of these resources. So one of this is tapping it through by harvesting rainwater for our use. Okay, my last slide. So let us together work together. Start. You can start small. Okay, try to collect water using your water barrels. Okay, and then lama-lama jadi bukit. Okay, this can contribute to minimize all sort of negative impacts to our planet, to our one and only planet, which is our planet is quickly depleted of its natural resources, including clean and fresh water. So how to do it? We can do this by try as much as possible to utilize rainwater instead of processed water or pipe water. Thank you. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and thank you all audience for listening. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, JS Dr. Haji Suatu Triman, for the impressive presentation. So as a conclusion, rainwater harvesting system faces many implementation challenge. Maybe from the cost, low return on investment, long payback period. However, it adds value to the environment. What rainwater harvesting support United Nations Agenda 21 Chapter 18, which is protection of the quality and supply of freshwater resources through the application of integrated approaches to the development, management, and use of water resources. Let us together contribute to minimize negative impact on our one and only planet by utilizing rainwater instead of processed water. Thank you very much, Dr. Suharto. Now, last but not least, let's welcome our final speakers for session today. Ibu Tika Ainunisa Fitria, who graduated in Architecture and Tourism Planning from Gajah Mada University, Indonesia. With her presentation for today, Sense of Sharing through Architecture and Planning. Please be invited, Ibu Tika Ainunisa Fitria.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Honorable all speakers and moderator. Is it clear now?
Yeah. Clear, Ibu Tika. Silakan.
Okay, thank you. Let me share first my presentation for today. Okay, can you see my presentation now?
Hi, Ibu Tika. I can see your presentation slide very clearly.
Okay, to make sure. Thank you. Okay, morning, everyone. My name is Tika Ainunisa Fitria, and I am a lecturer of architecture in Universitas Aisyah Yogyakarta. But at the same time, now I am a student also in Skuda Johor Bahru. So I'm so familiar about nasi lemak and roti canai for breakfast. So, okay, let me begin my slide now. My title of my presentation for today is A Sense of Sharing Through Architecture and Planning. We will see about how architecture and planning have the collaboration to make a better environment and better design of architecture. Start from the background. I will discuss how architecture and urban planning during this COVID, how our reaction, how our progress about this issue. It starts about the background. First is how COVID-19 impact on household income. This is the data during the pandemic from 3rd until 10th April 2020. We can see Malaysia and also Indonesia. There is 23% of Indonesian people has impacted by COVID-19 about the income or the salary. We can see there is a 24% average reduction in salary, and this is the position of Indonesia between lost by 30% until 40%. So what's happened next? We can see this. Indonesia consists of the majority is informal sector employment. We can see more than 60%, around 70%, I think, Indonesia people, the workforce is work in the informal sector, especially for self-employed merchants. If you come to my hometown, Yogyakarta, so you can see the batik seller in the market, the traditional market, and also become the agricultural laborers or the paddy field in paddy field. So we can see how they are impacted by COVID-19, especially for their income. And we can see this is the issue, the main issues about that impact, how fulfillment of nutrition for pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers and toddlers is a big issue or the impact during this COVID. We can see the prevalence for the toddler in the stunting. So we can imagine COVID-19 is not the impact is not only for today about the income, but how our generation, how about their nutrition, how about yes, how they can grow up well after this COVID-19. So we can see that an adequate nutrition linked to child development. When it's inadequate, there are some impacts such as morbidity and mortality risk, non-communicable disease in later life. The third is learning capacity and productivity of our next generation. Next is cognitive, language, and sensory and motor capacities. And the last is children under 2 years old prone to various infection of disease. I think it will be the big issue. It's not about only the economic, but how about the health, our next generation. And next, but during this COVID-19, only the impact, but we can see, especially in Indonesia, there is a new phenomena of giving food during COVID-19. So how we can see how the community tolerate to each other, care to each other, and they want to share to each other. We can see how they hang the food in the fence, and yes, it's happened one a week or daily routine or become a daily routine for some community in the village or kampung in Indonesia. So we can see this the phenomena is the fact. We can see this is every Jumat, or we call it Jumat Berkah. It's program of Kampung Dayang Solo, Indonesia. We can see all people hang and other people, especially the poor family, can take it the food like a noodle, a vegetable, and so on. And after that, we can see this. The big question is how the nutrition, how the hygienity, if we related it to the toddler, to our next generation or the children, how the nutrition or how is the hygienity. So this is the big issue. I can read this. Pakar gizi komunitas komentari fenomena bagi-bagi makanan saat pandemi. So the nutrition association comment about the phenomena how we are sharing the food during the pandemic. So, but in other way, we can see that there is some relation, but we can implement it in our design to our architecture, based on architecture and also the environmental planning. So I can find too about the regulation from the National Food and Drug Agency of Indonesia. The aims of this regulation too is how to distribute of processed food during the COVID-19. And the second one is from the Health Ministry of Indonesia. It's about how able to plan the nutritional logistic needs. So it's become our concerns. How do we implement our architecture background to our design? So let me tell about this story. This project was presented in INES 2019, and we have a group that consists of students and also the docent as a supervisors, and we elaborate with our study program and research board in my program study. It's a health architecture center or of architecture. So we consist of this group to elaborate and develop this project. And after 1 years, we can see that this can be implemented during this COVID. This is that we still progress that related in this COVID. The pandemic COVID-19 impacts, we all know that four main sectors like health, social, education, and so how architecture and town plan can collaborate to see this phenomena and how we can relate it to our background knowledge. So this is the fundamental literature that we take. It's about how we can develop the design that or function for all people. That there are 5 principles. It's about the function, comfort, form, safety, and techniques. So we can see this design. This design is total that consists of 3 words is tokamun and tokosium. Tokamun means food, ta'awun is helping each other, tokosimun is giving. What the aims is to the nutritious food for toddlers such as milk powder, porridge powder, and rice. The second is to reduce the number of stunting that triggered by the COVID-19 impact. The third is to initiate the distribution properly for toddler safety and hygiene, of course. And the last is to encourage a sense of community during sharing and giving activity. It can be related to the new phenomena now during the COVID. And what we at the first, we should selection of the location, and we select the Serambi on the veranda of mosque because it become the public place for all kampung in Indonesia. I think also in Malaysia. The method? The method is behavior and space mapping. So this is some of the reason why we choose Serambi or the veranda of MOS for design this project. First is Serambi is a favorite place to have social interaction and activities. Second is Serambi has ability to be accessed by public. So not only for Muslim, but on other can access this area also. The third is its pillars become favorite element for people to have leisure and lean on. And the fourth is there is a more than 1,000 mosques organized by Dewan Masjid Indonesia. So I think this is the proper place where we can build this project. This is after that the concept of the design how we integrate the architecture elements, especially in the building, which is the most and its detail or the pillars. We can see this one, the pillars, and this is our project that's named Tutato. As we can see how it built in the mosque, the veranda of mosque, and this is how it's built in the pillars. And what the pillars in Tutato, we can see this detailing, how we can share like porridge and milk powder and so on as the basic needs of the toddler, and how the others can receive. So indirect interaction still as a protocoler during COVID become our aspect related to the how the comfort this project. And the second is how about the function, safety and form. We can see the detail. This is how we a place that we can put the rice in, the paper bag storage. So everyone who will take some, so we share this. This is the capacity indicator of the porridge and so on, and this is the rice storage. We can take from this, and yes, this is the detail. And how about the environment? It's not about the architectural, but the environment also. We use the pore block. This element can absorb the water, so the pillar is not only related to this project, but how pillar is also useful for environment. Yes, we use the pore block as the element of the pillars. And next is how the technical or the technique of capacity setting. The indicator to indicator amount of taking, and after that the maximum capacity of the tattoo. I think it's relevant because it's become the public element, so we need to how its maximum capacity that we decided to this project auto tattoo. It's around 30 liters, and everyone can 1 liter to take the rice or the porridge from this potato. After that, we have the detail. What are the innovation and solution provided by Totato? This is some of variables. One is ergonomic. Yes, we know we should use this parameter, learning the limit and capability of human in interaction process, structure, and products, and so on. And the second one is the durable. Durable goods are those which have long-term use durability. It will be related to the material and low maintenance because it becomes the public built in the public space, and how the community will organize by themselves. So low maintenance is really needed. After that, the affordable production cost is because it's related also direct to the community. And after that, private access and secure, informative, like sign and so on. It will become the detail, reduce pollution, how we choose the appropriate elements, and easy mechanism to clean and something simple, easy to use. And after that, the sustainable material. with this project, we began at 2019, and during the COVID, we still on progress. Seeing this project, we believe and we think that it related in this during COVID, and how the reaction of the phenomena like sharing and caring among people here. So this is the further development of our innovation. And yes, some point we have achieved, but we believe that we need more progress to this project, so that can be implemented. Maybe this is the we can see the little bit animation of this project. Yes, this is the pillar, how the pillar built with the Totato, our project. And this is the inner part of our Totato. We can take our porridge here. Yes, and this is some detail. This is the indicators or the signs, some signs. Yes, that was my last slide, and thank you very much for the attention. Any question can be emailed in my email tikafitria@unisajogja.ac.id. Thank you. Back to the moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for Ibu Tika for the information presentation just now. So, with all four speakers completing their presentation for today's, now we will proceed with the Q&A session. So, we can choose a few questions because due to the time constraint. So, I hope speakers ready for question to respond from the speaker from the audience. Okay, the first question is come from Mr. Daniel Iqbal Issa. This question for Dr. Emilia. He has a question. Is about, is it urban gardens are one of example to plant more trees in cities? So
Okay.
this is question from Mr. Daniel Iqbal Issa. Is urban gardens one of example to plant more trees in cities? Thank you.
Okay, so the answer is yes. And apart from that, we can also have roadside trees or sidewalks. And we also have spaces in our cities where we can also plant trees, or along urban edges. For example, if we have a river crossing our city, we can plant trees along the river, or along edges like abandoned railway. So yes, we can have more trees by planting in urban gardens.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Emilia. So we move to the next question. This question come from Shifa Zamri. This question for Dr. Wan Rabiah. about the obesity. So the question is, what are the preparations or steps taken by the authorities in dealing with the problem of obesity and in Malaysia?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hi, thank you for the questions. Yeah, I'm happy to answer that. Actually, in terms of government side, dealing with behavior of the people, we have like 3 tiers of government. One, state, federal government, state government, and local authorities. Since dealing direct to the local behavior of the people, so the actions that it's been found that more effective if they're from local authority, because more close to the people. So among the actions or the initiatives are a policy, which is shared in the TV, social media, newspaper, brochure, website, and so on. But that one is just for the awareness, to make people aware that obesity is growing and it's not good for our health, and it causes extra cost to us. And the second part is the implementation. So implementation is also fall under local authorities' responsibility. How they change, actually, how they want to change people's behavior to be more regularly walking. So one thing is through development of infrastructure, which is currently ongoing. I think since 1990, yeah, it's got ongoing by providing good path, by providing shaded area. But we compete because through time, government want to promote walking behavior. At the same time, the other challenge like development is going on, way of lifestyle, people prefer to stay in the house, prefer the working style by sitting on the table by desk, just doing your work from the desktop. That means less mobile. So we cannot simply blame, we cannot simply hope for the government action. Actually, the initiative start from us. Government only facilitate. So if you want to regularly walk, so come on, let's do it first. And then inshallah government will provide the facilities and or to improve the facilities even more. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wan. Okay, another question for Dr. Wan. Famous Dr. Wan hari ni, so many questions. This question from because this topic very interesting about the obesity. Okay, this question from Mr. Suhaimi Khalid. Due to CMCO, our physical activity might be distracting. So, the question is there any current government responses towards obesity in order to reduce the number of obesity in Malaysia?
Okay. It's really, that question is really relevant to our current scenario with the COVID pandemic. Obesity also pandemic. So we need to fight both pandemic at one time. But the thing is that these two pandemic is contradict. COVID pandemic asks us to stay at home, while obesity need for us to go outside and walk or do our physical activity. So how to strike the balance? Because from the government point of view, COVID is more dangerous at this time. At this moment, COVID is more dangerous. They need to tackle this one first. But as for us, so government advice, I saw few times in the, I think in the website where KKM advise us how to be more active. Although it's not walking, it's not by walking or cycling, to be more active, like doing more home activity based, like gardening, cooking, not eating, cooking, and cleaning, and whatever that make you your physically move. Yeah. I think from my personal point of view, how do government tackle this? So on top of provide physical infrastructure, maybe give incentive in terms of merit like coupon. Yeah, because we have our handphone to measure our like walking and jogging and cycling. There's an app to measure our like quantity of doing it. So maybe government can introduce coupon. Yeah, then we can use that coupon for a discount for any purchase, for example. Okay, people like present, people like a reward. So I think because we have to walk, we can walk anytime in the house, around the house. We can run. In fact, if we have a small space, we can utilize. We be creative. But as part from the government, we can cooperate with GLC maybe or individual to provide a kind of reward. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wan Rabia. Okay, now we move to the next question. This question for Dr. Suharto. This question comes from Susanna Abdullah. This question is, aging roof have a high potential to give harmful effect to the quality and harvested rainwater. Is it the aging roof can negatively influence harvested rainwater quality? Dr. Suharto.
Tak dengar suara.
Oh, sorry.
Tak dengar suara Dr. Suharto. Dr. Suharto mute dah.
Thank you for the question. Congratulations on your Viva. Okay. Yes, we have many type of residential areas, and some are very old one, and the others are new. Okay. For new residential areas, we have normally have no problem of roof aging roof, which with dirt. Okay. But for old roof, okay, in old residential areas, there are cases where it's full of mold, okay, and bird droppings, leaves, which stays there for so many years. Okay, these, of course, have some sort of contamination into on the water that flows down from this type of roof. That's why we need to filter this water from roof, especially from aging roof, which contain these contaminants. The physical filters will remove all these debris, all these leaves, molds. Okay, but those bacteria from bird droppings, we cannot move back through this filter. So the water looks clean. Okay, it looks clear, right? But it contains a lot of bacteria inside. This bacteria can normally is not harmful to the environment. It's not harmful. You can use that water for to water your plants. Okay, but it's not potable. You cannot drink it. You can use it for drinking or cooking. If you want to use it for drinking or cooking, you need to boil the water. You need to boil the water. In some cases, if you can also treat it. If there are filters which can treat, we can remove. There are filters we can remove chlorine or what do you call smell. Okay, but for bacteria, you still need to boil the water if you want to drink it. So the main use for rainwater harvesting is for cleaning. Okay, you can use it to wash your laundry. There's no problem. So that's basically about it, right? The thing is that aging roof do contain more contaminants than clean roof. Thank you. Hope answer the question.
Thank you, Dr. Suharto. One more question for Dr. Suharto. This is from Indonesia, from Alifia Faras. I also have in Indonesia have densely populate a place. How to apply and manage rainwater harvesting in small house with a limited area.
Okay. Okay. If you want to install rainwater harvesting, the most expensive is the water tank, right? And it is also the most cumbersome. It's huge, okay? And it is a problem if you want to place it in a small space, especially in urban areas where the house you really have a small space, maybe at the back of your house or in the front of your house. So one way to do it in existing house is if you have to retrofit it. You can there is on the market a variety of design of rainwater tank which are slim. Okay, it's not around. The one that I shown on the slide is a round shape, but they are on the market which are slim, with a width of just 1 feet, which you can is like a plank, okay, which you can put it on. You can place it. You can tie it to your wall of the house, okay. And then so this kind of design, uh, uh, it tries to help solve the problem of fitting a rainwater harvesting system in small spaces in your house, or in other areas where a large container or large water tank cannot fit into it. Right. Okay, that's my answer.
So at the moment we don't have any question for Ibu Tika. Ibu Tika, maybe if they have any question, they can email to you directly, and then you can respond as soon as possible to their email. So how Ibu Tika, macam mana keadaan di Indonesia? Pandemik,
Baik.
macam mana? Baik macam mana tu? Masih bekerja di kantor kan? Boleh masuk di office?
Tak, saya student now, so I just prepare my thesis.
Okay, good luck for you.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, thank you very much to all our honorable speakers for their presentation. From for Dr. Melia about the trees, the importance of trees in urban area, to the Dr. Wan Rabia about the obesity from Malaysia. So please avoid eat more nasi lemak, roti canai, and teh tarik. Just drink warm water. And then thank you for Dr. Suharto about the rainwater harvesting. And the last one is for Ibu Tika about the sharing in utilize the element in buildings. So with that, now we come to the end of our session for this webinar today. Everyone is invited to join us in our third session webinar next week with more new presenters and interesting topics. Till we meet again, and take care everyone and stay safe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh from the community webinar UiTM-UNISA 2020. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.